Hello friends, it's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. And we are talking today about workflow over engagement. What? Okay, this is interesting. I even this morning I didn't know exactly what I wanted to post about today in this episode, but I'm working on some stuff for my 6-week intensive program. And in that 6-week intensive program, one of the things that we actually tackle is workflow. Now, this is important because for most people, for most of us, the rest of us, right, who are stuck in the land of heating technology, resisting all the algorithms of it all, the SEO of it all, there is a thing where workflow really starts to pay off in terms of your presence, your prolificness, you being able to create something once and have it shared multiple places, right? So I'm clear that when you post to your personal profile on Facebook, you're going to get more engagement because Facebook puts your content in the newsfeed of your friends easily. But when you are broadcasting from a page, a business page, you don't get as much organic engagement. You won't get as many likes. You won't get as many comments. And so for me to produce this show from this page means I'm sacrificing engagement. And a lot of people would say engagement is what you need, right? If you're going to try to grow a business, you need engagement. So why on earth would I shoot myself in the foot and sacrifice engagement for the purpose of workflow? Okay, well, that's it, right? Many of you have the problem or complaint of I don't have enough time. And when you can start to realize that what's most important in your content strategy is your truth. Your truth is what's most important in your content strategy. So it's not even engagement, it's truth. So for you to capture your truth, that's where you want to go. Now, once you have that captured, once you have your truth captured, now you can find other ways to create the engagement. Through what? Through workflow. Once you capture your truth, now you can find other ways to create engagement. So what happens a lot of times for people right now is that they try to find the most engaging mechanism possible. Maybe it's Facebook Live on my personal profile. That's what I've done for 124 episodes. Today's episode 125. And I'm doing it from a page. Why? Because workflow. Workflow is this underrated, overlooked technicality of things. But when you start to get clear about not only the vision of what you're saying, but you get clear about how many people you want to experience your message, you have to get clear about workflow. So if you're confused about the word workflow, which I think most of you would get intuitively, let's just specify it a little bit here, right, in terms of what this looks like. So workflow can be everything from I capture a live video and then I'm able to share it out on multiple platforms. I only have to share it once here on this page, but once I have it here, there are tools that allow me to share it on multiple platforms. And I don't have to do that. There's a little bit of setup work for that, but once I set it up, then it does it automatically for me. That's workflow, okay? Workflow makes your life easier. Workflow equals leverage, right? So when you really start to dial this game in, most of your leads, your engagement, your stuff is going to come from evergreen content. It's not going to come from in the moment somebody watched your live video and then private messaged you and said, "Hey, I'm just watching your live video right now. Can I work with you?" That's not how most of your leads are going to happen. So knowing, isn't that interesting, right? It's a good paradigm shift for you. Once you see that, you're like, "Oh, I hadn't thought about that." You're right. Most of my leads don't come right in the moment that I'm doing a live video. They come after the fact, right? So knowing that takes a lot of pressure off of you having to post on a particular mechanism that gives you the most engagement while it's happening. Because you know that you can repurpose your content through your workflow for engagement in multiple platforms, not just one platform. So that is it, gang. That is me moving my cheese. I have moved my cheese, and in doing so have moved your cheese if you have been a regular follower of this show. But all is okay. All is fine. All is good, because this is making it easier for me, and this is also going to make it easier for you. So here's the question for you. Where can you add better, more efficient workflow? That's it. Like, look at your bottlenecks right now of time. Like, look at, I would do this, but I don't because of time. Like, that's a bottleneck in time, and that's pointing a finger to you need an improvement in your workflow. So start to think about where could you have an improvement in your workflow, okay? All right, now that being said, I go into this whole concept of the 20% of marketing that gives you 80% of your results in my Groundswell Method 6-week intensive program. If that sounds interesting to you, you'd like to have more time to do the things you like and less time slaving over your marketing because you have some perspective on your workflow, then I invite you to take my free course called Marketing for the Rest of Us, the course, because that is the gateway into the 6-week intensive. You don't get into the 6-week intensive unless you actually go through the 90-minute Marketing for the Rest of Us course. Okay, so you can get that course. You can start the free course at groundswellmethod.com and start there. And if that sounds interesting to you, by the time you get to the end of that course, you can actually apply for the 6-week program. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me for this episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. And until I see you tomorrow, take care.